Okay, guys, 17.2. More dumbbells this week. I am really excited that they have decided to do something like this, and it actually make this about good strength and conditioning principles versus you just always doing barbell work. Kerry Pierce got 193 reps, so that seems like a solid score, which is into the second round of toes to bar post muscle ups. A couple things that I've noticed and just want to touch on. So one, in the power cleans, only one head of the dumbbell needs to touch the ground before you come back up. I think that is extremely vital to save your back. So make sure that you guys are thinking about that. The next thing that is going to be super important is your grip as you're doing the lunges. So you have to let the dumbbell rest on you, and you need to relax your grip. You need to have your whole hand around it, but you don't need to be choking it. So I think just something like that that's keeping it in place. Obviously, with a good front rack position, you should be absolutely fine. So that's really important. So let's touch on this. So 32 toes to bar and 32 bar muscle ups is the buy-in basically, and then after that it's like who's going to get to what. So when you're thinking about how you're breaking things up, a very important thing is going to be like, if you're going to get through that first two rounds of toes to bar. So breaking those up, I don't think is a super bad thing if that's what you really need for the bar muscle ups, because obviously 16 bar muscle ups for some of us is going to be extremely challenging, right? So just real simple off the top of my head, I'm thinking 8-8 for a lot of people in the toes to bar. It's not going to cost them that much, but it's going to save their grip. Just 8, shake it out, do 8, or even 8-4-4. I think that's totally fine. For the bar muscle ups, by now, most athletes at your level, or this level, an RX level, should have a good idea of what their max unbroken is. Okay, depending on you and your ability, you're going to have to make the best decision for you. I could really see, as long as you're keeping concise breaks and making sure that as soon as you're done, you're getting right back on the lunges, getting right back on the power cleans. That's what's going to really be a decider for a lot of people, right? It's just going to be like hammering through that, making sure you're doing all that right. So please make sure you guys are really thinking about what that's going to look like for you guys all. So bar muscle ups, like I said, depending on that, you might go 6-5-5, something like that, maybe 3 sets, maybe 2 sets if you have really good bar muscle ups. But the one thing that I think a lot of people need to think about is, from what I look at this workout, is as long as you have a smooth kip and you're keeping it nice and tight, this is where you're going to be able to catch your breath, believe it or not. Because the lunges and the power cleans, you're just going to have to move through those. But through that stuff, you're just nice and smooth, moving through it, quick little breaks with good timing and like that. Keep in mind, these are just my initial thoughts. Obviously, as the weekend develops and people do this more, we'll have better insight on it. So if there's more, I'll definitely send some more out. As far as the warm-up goes, one last little hack. If you're doing lunges, please wear knee sleeves. The knee needs to touch the ground. You should definitely do that. Also, too, just keep in mind, this is something that should be trained, but if it's not, you need to realize when you're doing lunge steps for length versus just good lunge steps, you might need to think about creating a longer stance versus a wider stance, just to cover more ground, especially being aware of where the tape line is to your feet. Nothing would be worse than having to take an extra lunge step to get your foot over the line if you were just able to do that. So I would recommend in your warm-ups, you take practice lunge steps to know exactly how many steps you have to do to get over the line, As far as the warm-up goes, I need you guys to make sure your ankles, hips, upper back, and shoulders are loose. I'd be focused a lot on scat pull-ups, getting that really open. Make sure your kip is really nice and tight. Kip swings, you guys all know the drill by now. But just those little things to make you do this. 12 minutes is a long time, but it's not too long either. So you need to make sure that you're ready to be working for that. With the bar muscle ups, keeping your eyes straight and spotting your toes is going to be extremely vital for something like this, because the second you start being inefficient, you're just going to drain yourself completely. If there's anything new coming from tomorrow's early people doing it, I will be happy to send out another video. Make sure that you know everything that you're doing. Check out the standards and do your thing. Bye-bye.